Okay, let's start.
Okay. All right. So Takashi-san, I think we left off with you.
Uh, okay, I can find much of Toyota car in Vietnam and also the Honda motorbikes. So Honda is representing the motorbikes here. So when people would say Honda, that means motorbike.
Right.
Okay. Motorbike means Honda, but so they might have the brand, which means that this product is durable and capable of the keeping in use for 10 years or 15 years. But the people is buying the reason why the people is buying the product Japanese brand means that they want the functionality, for example, durability. So they're not buying the meaning something behind, meaning behind.
Right.
That means they are not buying some history. They are not buying the brand of being this company.
Right.
But as you told last week about the Japanese sushi, the foreigners coming to Tokyo and Japan and wants to visit some sushi restaurant, they are buying something more than the sushi itself. And then the Japanese brand of the products is still having a presence, but I don't think that means Japanese people or Japanese spirit is not, I think it's not given some respect, and then they're not thinking that we have some identity in doing something else than just producing a motorbike and automobile car.
Yeah, I think that's right. I feel the same way. Like a company like Honda, it builds excellent motorcycles. They're really good. I think they're probably, Japanese motorcycles have probably the largest market share in the world. Yet when you compare driving a Honda with driving a Harley Davidson, Harley Davidson has a very, very strong identity. Driving a Harley Davidson means something. It symbolizes America. It symbolizes freedom. It symbolizes being a rebel. That is what driving a Harley Davidson symbolizes. The motorcycle itself is probably technically inferior to the motorcycles being produced in Japan. However, everybody wants to own a Harley Davidson. And people who cannot afford a Harley Davidson, they buy a Japanese motorbike.
Same thing I can tell you about. I had a motorbike, Ducati. Ducati is engine noise is completely different from the competitors. Engine noise.
Right.
I loved it. Okay, and also they are and also they are what, how can I say, different riding, it's running, speed or something different from their competitors. They have very unique Italy's motorcycle, and Harley Davidson is very unique. Why they can get that kind of advantage rather than Japanese? Why?
Because I think Ducati is also made in Italy, designed in Italy. It has an image, a reputation of luxury, of outstanding. It's really a sexy bike, right? It's sexy bike. So if you have a bike like that, you're saying something about yourself. If you drive a Harley Davidson, you're saying something about yourself. But if you have a Honda, you're not saying anything about yourself.
Why?
You have a bike.
So So being sexy is not physical function. So it's not something visible.
Right.
Something
intangible.
That people feel.
Yeah.
So when we look at the brand, whether it's the product, whether it's some culture. So what happens if we take away, we pretend to take away in our image, some physical function, and the price, whether it's high or low. So what will remain after taking out the functionality and the price? That is something like the concept of, for example, being sexy.
Right.
Cool. So what do you think remains in the Japanese brand after taking all the visible things?
The only thing that remains behind is the receipt.
But what?
No. That's. I mean, to be honest, I also drove a Japanese motorcycle, so I'm not criticizing Japanese motorcycles at all. I really like them, and I really like riding them because I mean, they're a reasonable choice. But it doesn't say that I'm sexy. It doesn't say anything. It says, okay, you ride a motorbike. That's it.
Good quote. A good example. What are you going to do?
So
Japan culture is okay. Go ahead.
So one way that I just think is just imagine the concept of making a brand could be like we are going to have to put something remaining after we will take off some functionality and just price. So we have to remain something beyond function,
right.
and something.
It's a story. The thing that remains is the story. It's the story that people buy, the story that people buy into. So not just the bike, not just the clear physical elements of the bike, but the story. So what is the story behind a Yamaha? What does it say? What does it say about the owner that you ride a Yamaha instead of a Honda, instead of a Ducati, instead of a Husqvarna? What exactly are you buying? And I think that is something that is completely ignored by Japanese manufacturers, and especially a motorbike says a lot about the identity of the driver. There's huge potential to actually being exploited, and unfortunately, I think Harley Davidson never had any competition from any of the motorcycle makers in the world. They are the only company who got it right, especially in this big motorcycle segment.